Finally we are here.
Ah,
Game week. Finally we can get that bad taste out of our mouth, man, and we can finally talk about something else. Dustin, what's going on? How
yeah.
you
Oh, listen, what's happening, man? I got my holiday sweater on
I see.
today. I'm getting in the holiday spirit here. I'm excited for this weekend. We've got bowl games today are getting underway. We
Mhm.
got the college football playoff this weekend. I mean, it truly is the most wonderful time of the year.
I love that. Love that. Is there what game outside of the Ohio State game are you like looking forward to? What matchup?
Talking about the playoffs this weekend,
Yeah,
or are you talking
yeah.
about just like yeah? Because I
No,
mean, the other games are I watch them all because
yeah.
we're sickos. We love football, and
Mhm.
I have a couple bowl games myself coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So looking forward to that. But I guess this weekend, when you talk about um, the college football playoff, I would say Friday night, man, just because of these schools in their proximity to where we live and how much we
That's
know about
was
these.
that Indiana, Notre Dame?
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. The ties between, like for us Buckeyes, obviously Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman. I play with Marcus, so I obviously have a bit of a rooting interest there.
Mhm.
Indiana is an interesting team that has really been on the rise this year with Kurt Signetti. So I think that's going to be a fascinating matchup, and it's in South Bend, night game in December. Like,
It's
come
gonna be
on,
tense.
they
Yes.
might. Dude, there might be snow in the forecast on Friday
Mm.
night in South Bend, which would be just an amazing thing to watch on television. So, no, man,
Especially
this is a long time coming, and if I seem excited, it's because I am, because we haven't had a playoff ever in FBS in
well,
terms of we've had FCS playoffs for a long ass time, but now we finally got a playoff.
I
Like a
guess.
real playoff, a real playoff, excuse me.
I mean, at some point they just gonna make it December madness. They're gonna have 64 teams in it, and it is what it is.
Can't
Um,
do that. You can't do that, but you can add a couple more. You can add a couple
well,
more.
they pushing it up to 16 in what 2 years or something like that.
I
So
think you can go to 24.
that's ridiculous,
No, it's
man.
not. No,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is. Ain't nobody trying to play that many games, Dustin.
No, no. We're gonna cut back the regular season
It's
another
not
game.
even 24 teams that deserve to even be in it. Like realistically, look at these 12
Yeah.
teams.
What
How
do you mean?
many?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Listen, hold on, wait a minute. Out of these 12 teams, realistically, how many of them do you actually be like, you know what? That team they can win it all. Four?
I I would say. I mean, this year,
Yeah, realistically, how many do you realistically give a chance to win it all out of the 12 that's made? Four?
I'm gonna go through them right now. Texas has a chance. Yes. I don't really think Arizona State has a chance. I think Ohio State has a chance. I think Tennessee has a chance. I think Oregon has a chance. I think Penn State has a chance. I don't think Boise has a chance. I think that Georgia has a chance for sure. The quarterback situation scares me. I think Notre Dame has a chance. I don't think Indiana has a chance.
So 7 out of the 12 you think realistically legit have a chance to win it all.
No doubt.
I got like
No doubt.
four. I got like four.
And
Jordan
and,
Dale.
and, that, and that's fine. And that's fine.
It's ridiculous. Anyways, so yeah,
But
the
but
12,
but here's
it was
here's the
fine
thing.
with four. It was fine
Tyvis,
with
Tyvis.
four.
You got me on one now. So when it comes and again, 24 is the number for FCS, and I love that number. And I'm a big fan of 1AA FCS football. I've done the playoffs for many years, and I really do enjoy that process and seeing these teams get buys and seeing teams have opportunities to compete and be in the tournament. It keeps teams in the mix, longer. And the thing I would say about, like, for example, this year I have the top 25 playoff rankings in front of me, and we're talking about the 12 teams we know that are in the playoff. But I get it. Not every team that gets in the tournament has a chance to win it. Just like college basketball. You got what are we at now? 68 teams that get into the college basketball March Madness. So out of those teams, how many have a realistic chance? I don't know, maybe 15, 20 teams, right? NCAA March Madness? What do you think?
That's fair.
Okay. So, like, you're telling me right now, if I put in a 10-2 Miami, they don't have a chance to win the title?
No. With that defense that they got, absolutely not.
They have a chance to win a couple games?
Who?
Miami.
Well, maybe one.
Depending
on where they seeded.
What about Alabama?
No, I don't. They got Jalen Milroe and Ryan Williams. That's it. No, that's not enough.
Okay. I'm going to let you keep your commentary without my opinion. I'm just going to give you some more teams that I think could compete. I think South Carolina can beat anybody in the country.
I don't disagree. they was hot. They got hot at the too late of the season. That's the problem. They should have. If they hadn't lost 3 games, they would be in.
I would love to see Shedeur Sanders play against anybody and see what happens. They probably wouldn't win a title. Probably wouldn't win a title, but
Colorado wouldn't win a title. Colorado wouldn't make it out the first round.
You don't think so?
No.
I'd want to see it, and people would watch. People would be excited about that.
Well, I mean, if that's what this is. This is about what, making TV shows, or is this about getting the best team?
It's about to me, college football has changed, especially with this playoff, especially with the portal, especially with
that's
the
why
NIL.
That's why you got your AD at Ohio State de-emphasizing the game now.
By the way, I'm trying to stay focused here because last week, as we taped our podcast, we sort of like got wind of that little deal there. So I want to get on that here in a minute, but I just to kind of put a bow on this expansion of the playoff. Dude, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, you think 4 teams could win it out of the 12? All right, that's a pretty good percentage to win the whole thing. I don't know, man. I think this is so awesome for college football. I mean, I would love to see a team like BYU in the playoff. I would love to see Ole Miss in that offense.
Ole Miss, all right, you can sell me on that. BYU for what? Like, it doesn't even sound BYU won it all. That doesn't even sound right.
Tyvis, I'm not sitting here trying to sell you that these teams can win it all. I'm trying to tell you that they can beat anybody. I mean, you're telling me that BYU couldn't line up with anybody?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm absolutely telling you.
Dude, this is a different era of college football, man. You've got good players on every single one of these teams, like high-level dudes that could play for any team in the country. With that being said, you don't know what team's going to show up. You saw you're ripping on Bama, and rightfully so. And their fans wanted their team to get, their fans wanted their team to get in, right, as a 3-loss SEC team. And again, they don't deserve to be in, but bro, they could be. I would in any given Saturday or Friday, in some cases, they could beat anybody. They just no-showed against Oklahoma. They had
Oklahoma.
Well, that was an embarrassing loss. I mean, you'd admit that, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you making my case for me. Why they did it? Why they don't? No, absolutely not.
I mean, the Vanderbilt loss is probably what obviously keeps them out because it's just a bad loss. But every other, I mean,
it's the Oklahoma loss that really keeps them out. What are they? 6-6? 7-5?
But Oklahoma is a brand, man. You can't lose to Vanderbilt in football. You can't. I mean, Jay Cutler wasn't on that team. You know that Jay Cutler played for Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah, I'm not that young. Come on now.
I'm just saying. Okay, I've ranted, I've raved. I'm excited about the playoffs this weekend. I'm excited for the Buckeyes. Excited to talk about this. But you just said something that we got to talk about for a minute. And that was
they de-emphasizing the game. Yeah, he said that we're so busy worried about the result and not the process. That's what he said. It's a direct quote from Ross Bjork. So it's funny because I was talking to last week. I was talking to Dane Sanzenbacher. I'm doing the radio station down here.
Dude.
Yeah, Sanzy boy. Dane was
Tell
saying,
my boy I said what's up. Tell my boy I said what's up.
I sure will. The next time I see him,
those white skill guys got to stick together.
He goes. He was basically he got shredded by YouTube chat and Twitter. he got absolutely destroyed because he was saying how the game doesn't mean as much as it used to because of the CFP now. And fans ain't trying to hear that. They ain't trying to hear that. Even though he's not 100% wrong with what he's saying, you can't say that, especially right now. Like, that's just not the thing to say. So it was funny because he said that, and then Ross Bjork kind of said about the same thing. He didn't say that, but that's kind of what he's leading to. And I just wanted to know your thoughts, man. Is the game really not what it used to be? I mean, obviously the CFP, you still can get in the CFP and still win the Natty, but how do you feel about the game? Like, is it not hold enough weight like it used to?
It holds weight to me.
I agree.
And I'm sure it holds weight to you.
I agree.
I honestly, Tyvis, cannot tell you if it holds weight to these coaches or to these players because I'm not in their shoes and I'm not in their headspace. I don't understand what goes through their minds when it comes to the season, where the priorities lie. Like, I don't know. I can't sit here and tell you that a lot of these kids on not just Ohio State, but across the country, the priority for a lot of the kids is probably NIL, and like, what are my stats? Like, am I getting paid? And so that has changed everything because players are more, I think, and maybe it sounds like an old man, get off my lawn. If it is, so be it. So be it. I don't know what to tell you. But I will say this much, the college football landscape has changed dramatically. You now don't have to beat Michigan to get into the playoff. And it's proven right now. And worse, the worst thing, I'm just going to come off wrong. I don't want it to sound like this, but
make sure you say it right now.
If somehow Ohio State wins the Natty, it's going to hurt the rivalry.
You think so?
I do.
Because it's like, it don't matter. See, that's that.
It won't. It's not for me, Ty. It's not for me, and I assume not for you, but for a lot of people out there. That
I don't think so. I actually don't think so. I don't think this fan base will allow that to be, because there's people out there that's like, it's probably blasphemy, but there's people out there saying that I'd rather beat the team up north and win the Big Ten than the Natty, and that's kind of blasphemy to hear people say that, but that's stuff that people are saying, and I don't think you can ever. The game has been such an important game for so many years. Like, I don't care about the landscape of football changing. Like, that game will always hold weight to me, and it's just what it is. Like, I get the fact you can still win the Natty. Yes, if you lose it, it don't hurt your chances of winning a Natty, but it's still bragging rights. It's still about the people that was before you. It's still like, I hate dealing with they fans. Like, it really is ridiculous how crazy they talk. So like, it's something that why not do both? That's what I say. I did both. I won the game and won the Natty. Like, that's your job is to win that game, which is y'all own set goals, to win that game, win the Big Ten, and win the Natty. So like, I don't think that you can ever de-emphasize that game. And I don't care what people say about we need to change. Just like they just did, they just did senior tackle like last Friday.
You mentioned that to me the other week, and I didn't know that they had moved it.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate. All right, speaking of this game, because I don't want to go down that whole road, but it leads me to my question. Do you think that losing that game will have a lingering effect on what we see on Saturday from the Buckeyes? What do you think?
If we do, we'll know real fast. We'll know real fast, because this is a game where I do believe that, it's obviously a huge benefit for us being at home, being the weather conditions, what it's predicted to be. It's going to be a very favorable for Ohio State.
Well, I mean, it ain't like Tennessee is in the deep South.
It's not deep South, but there's a big difference between 41 degrees and 18. Big difference.
I agree with that statement.
Big difference. And their quarterback is from California. So
yes, he is.
We'll get there in a minute. But in terms of this game, I think we'll know rather quickly, Tyvis, if this is going to be a game where Ohio State comes out flat or not.
Do you think
In my experience playing night games at the Shoe, there's nothing like it. There's not an energy, an environment. I'm sure you played them too. It's special, and I expect the fans to really want to get into the game early, especially with it being cold and that whole deal. And if Ohio State comes out flat and the fans can't get into it, I think it's going to be a recipe for disaster. So I think we'll know within the first 7-8 minutes of the game.
You really believe that the fans will boo?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. These fans, dude, I don't think there are a lot of Ohio State fans.
Listen, y'all need to stop. That I do not believe that our fans would start booing booing the Buckeyes. Like, that don't make sense. Unless it's like
Tyvis, these fans are going to be in there after a full day around the holidays with a little eggnog. Dude, if they don't get what they want, they're already the Buckeye natives are already restless. You think if they come out flat, by the way, they kind of do come out flat almost every game.
I'm about to say everybody should be used to it.
Yeah, the problem is, dude, this is a different deal. I mean, we're playing a different animal in this Tennessee club coming in here. I think Tennessee fans and volunteer players are pumped to be here.
Yeah, they say they got 30% of the tickets.
I've heard a lot of stuff about these tickets and what Tennessee's trying to do. We'll find out on Saturday. How about that?
Listen, man. I hear what everybody's saying. I hear everybody's concern. But I'm gonna be honest with you. When I watch Tennessee, I don't see it. I just don't see it. The couple of games that I watched, like, it wasn't like anything jumped off the page to me. But then people are like, well, didn't you say the same thing about the Wolverine? Yeah, but like, this is different. Like, we have a Wolverine problem. Like, it's a mental thing with them, with the Wolverines. I'm gonna take that game and just put it out there like that ain't who they are. That's not a direct reflection of who they are. They just struggle with them for whatever reason. I'm judging them off of 11 games. The other 11 games where they play like that, I just don't think Tennessee. I don't see it. I just don't. Like, there's nobody that scares me on their team. Now, listen, Tennessee has that funky offense where they use literally the entire field for their formation. They had a dude standing about out of bounds.
Oh my God, yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Spread you out.
And I was listening to Caleb Downs talk about this. I listened to his sound because they had defense was talking yesterday, and he was saying how when they doing that makes the linebackers in the front seven have to worry about the run, and everybody in the back end have to worry about the pass. You can't really be tied together. And I agree with that statement. I agree. But the thing is, I like our front six, because we'll have a nickel. They'll probably go 11 or 10 personnel. So we'll have a nickel out there who will be removed from the box. So you got 6 guys on 6 guys. And I like our chances there. I think that our D-line does well, and our linebackers is by far the best on the defense. So I'm not worried about it. I know they got Dylan Sampson, who leads the SEC in rushing yards and all those things, but historically, nobody really runs the ball well on us. You know, you think about some of the good running backs that they played this year. Caleb Johnson from Iowa, they shut him down. Khalil Mullins he just got the ball like 50 times. That's why his stats went up. But it hasn't really been a guy in the run game that's like gashed us. Now, don't get me wrong. When I watch Tennessee tape, they do a great job of getting to the second level, getting hands on the linebackers. But I think our D-line is going to eat up those double teams and keep these linebackers' jerseys free to make the play. So I'm not worried about it. Then on the outside, on the wide receiver, you can forget about it. It ain't one dude. I can go out there today and stop them. It ain't one dude on their receiving core that just bothers me. I know they got this Dante Thornton Johnson guy, but when I watch him, he run like this skinny post, like bang 8 type thing. That's like his best route. But he's not nothing to fear, you know? Like when I watch, it's nothing to fear. And I don't think Nico's arm is that strong. So even if they did beat you deep, I don't think he's gonna hit a 50-yard fade. Like that's not gonna be what he did. He's gonna underthrow it. So to me, as I watch the tape, I'm good. I'm good. Like I don't see it. I just don't see it. There, when I look at their defense, their linebackers are terrible in pass coverage. They are terrible. They'll hold you. They don't get back to their landmarks. If we don't come out and throw the ball 40 times, because you think about Alabama, you think about Georgia when they played them, both teams did what? Throw the ball 40 plus times. If we don't throw the ball 40 plus times in this game, it's a shame. It's a direct indictment on the play calls. Yes, I know the last time they was out there, they should have threw the ball 40 times, but you got to learn from your mistakes.
I just hope the conditions are conducive to being able to do that, because what stinks about a game like this is, and this may bring out some nightmares for Buckeye fans, but this is a Tennessee defense that's very similar to Michigan's. You know, their run defense is their strength.
Yes.
I think they're 8th best in the nation against the run. Ohio State's O-line has been an issue all year long.
Yeah, you see they're talking about rotating guards in the game.
Dude, this whole thing scares me to death. The thing is, man, like Tennessee, they could just go straight off the Sharon Moore game plan and be like, you know what? We got Dylan Sampson. He's a damn good running back. Like he's one of the better running backs in the entire country. You've got the 4th best defense in the country.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't. Throw the ball.
Ohio State's got better players. Ohio State has better skill players. They will be able to take some shots. The problem is, like, I don't know why the Buckeyes continue to feed in to whatever their opponents bring to them and play to their strengths as opposed to not playing to our strengths.
We always won game.
Not to lose, man.
It was one game.
I hear what you're saying about that game, but it's been that game for the last 3 years. And then it's been some of these other games where we played down to the competition and allowed teams to sort of hang around.
Dustin, I don't see it. If they get out there and try to run the ball 40 times, then I do see it. But if they put the ball in the air, there's no chance. There's just no chance. They don't have the horses to even. I was just talking to a beat reporter from Tennessee today. He even said it. He said, we got a true freshman nickel. I'm worried about him. And then we got a walk-on safety. He said that is not the most athletic guy. You got to abuse these people like that. Like the game plan alone should be trying to abuse those two right there. And you got the people to do it. That's the craziest part. You can do it because you got the players to take advantage of it. If Ryan Day or Chip Kelly want to show me that they is lethal and ruthless, I'd attack them all game. That's how you learn from your mistake, because they should have fed Jeremiah Smith 50 times in that Wolverines game. They better learn from their mistakes. If a Mecca is eating this true freshman alive, then you make them adjust. Make them adjust. You keep doing it until they adjust. It's a simple game. We make the game football harder than what it actually is. Sometimes you find your mismatch and you exploit it. That's it. It's that simple.
I just wish Ohio State would do that, and then once they find that weakness and you've got your opponent, like you got them pinned to the ground, like put your foot on their gosh darn throat, you know what I mean? And put them out of their misery. We don't ever play to destroy our opponents. We play like not to lose. There's a little bit of hesitancy in the way we call the game offensively.
I would agree with you, because I had a buddy of mine point out, he said Ohio State, once they score 28 points, like they take their foot off the gas, because in their minds, they say you're not going to score 28 points on our defense. And I hear that, and I'm hoping that maybe the reason that they did that is because they thought we got 15, 16 games that we got to play. So, let's save some plays, save some energy. I'm hoping. When you're in the CFP, there is no tomorrow. So, therefore, let the thing go, man. Like, it shouldn't be no hesitation. like I said, the Buckeyes don't win. This is a 2-score game. I know the spread is like 7. It's like a 2-score game. It's a 2-score game in my opinion. I don't, as long as Will Howard takes care of the football, because Nico, although I talk about how his arm ain't strong and all these things, he doesn't turn the ball over. I think he got 6 picks on the season. So he'll be good at that standpoint. But stopping the run, that's going to be the first thing, which at Ohio State, you really normally don't let guys run the ball on you. While I've been here and then this year, they really haven't allowed nobody to really run the ball. So if you're forcing them to be a passing attack, then you should be fine. You should, because they don't have nobody. As long as our corners don't commit penalties with the holding, like IGB with the holding in the DPI, and as long as Denzel don't let nobody get behind them, they'll be fine. Just keep everything in front of you. It's simple.
Well, let's hope that's going to be the case in this matchup on Saturday night, man. I feel good about it. I do. I feel a hell of a lot better about this game than I did about Michigan, honestly.
You was nervous for that game?
Dude, you and I sat here and we talked about that game and how Michigan could keep it close. And if it were close in the fourth quarter, I thought Ohio State and Ryan Day and Chip Kelly and company would be a little tight and press, and they certainly did.
Well, they did that for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Well,
but the point is they got to the point of no return, to where it was like super what do you call, this is a kid friendly show, so you know what I'm saying, the very important part of the game.
All right, give me your matchup. What's your one thing you looking for? What's one matchup you looking for? Whether it could be offense, defense, what you got?
I mean, honestly, it's our defense, which has been really, really good for the most part. We've got more talent on our defense. Their defense has put up some great numbers this year. But think about this, okay? Tennessee this year, they lost to Arkansas. Do you know how many points Tennessee scored against Arkansas?
14.
I'll tell you. They scored 14. Good job out of you. You did your research.
Was it 17-14?
They lost 17-14. They lost to Georgia. Do you know how many they scored against Georgia?
17, 31-17.
Correct. And they scored all those in the first half, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
In their other 10 wins, do you know how many points they scored? Minimum.
56.
I didn't give you a fair chance there. So in the games that they won, the 10 wins, they had to score at least these amount of points. Just throw a number out.
28.
23. So which isn't a huge, but it's a lot more than 14. Point being, like, Ohio State gets, you said 28, and they're like, let's pull back. No, go. Get this to 35-7.
I mean, it could very well get there. I don't see it. Listen, my one matchup that I'm looking for is only one thing that can make this game interesting. Davison Igbinosun versus this Dante Thornton Jr. kid. If he starts getting money, this game could get interesting, because now you got a passing attack. You got something in the passing game that people got to worry about. And like I said, he's running that bang 8 thing, or that skinny post. If them linebackers is flying up there and we can't stop him from getting inside or crossing our face and he catching that ball, he will stiff arm you, and he can't take it the distance. He's done it a couple of times this season. So that's the only thing. That is, as long as if I'm IGB, I'm lining up inside leverage, and that you just not crossing my face. Like, this is not going to happen. Any route you run, you can run the fade, because I don't think Nico going to hit you in stride on the fade. So I just need to get my head around and play the ball, which is something that we still have not done as a DBs. Like, it bothers me how, the Oregon game was what it was with the DBs. And since that game, I'm not 100% confident that they got that much better, because they haven't been tested. It's not like they was killing it in past breakups. I've seen them still get beat deep, and I've seen a bunch of penalties. So to me, that's like the entire thing of this whole thing is I'm gonna always be nervous for our corners, because if they step up and make plays and get picks and get PBUs, all right, then it's over. It's nothing. But if those guys are still doing the same things that they've been doing, it could get interesting. So I'm banking on the fact that they're gonna play well because I got them by 2 scores. 2 scores.
It's gonna be a weird game. I could see it like 27-17.
That's your final prediction?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just made it on the fly.
27-17. I'm going to say 21-7. 21-7.
Fantastic.
21-7. 2 scores.
Fantastic. Love it.
21-7 type game. Oh, I think that their defense will. I think Ohio State go up 14-0 early. Then it goes 14-7, give them a chance. And then they scored 7 points in the fourth quarter, make it 21-7 ball game.
Bro, we get this. We're going to the semis because we're beating Oregon in the Rose Bowl.
You think so?
I do.
I hope you listen. I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Damn near beat them in their place.
I hope you're right. The only thing that scares me.
Did you ever play in the Rose Bowl?
No.
Okay.
The only thing that scares me is our corners. That's it. The only position on defense that scares me. And that's a dang shame that I'm saying that.
It is a damn shame.
It's just what it is. All right, there it is. There you have it. Leave y'all predictions in the comments. Dustin and I can't wait to talk to y'all next week as we head on to Oregon because in my mind, it's already done. Until then, we'll see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.